Alrighty, guys, it is time to show you my worst tank. I have to make a confession. Back when I was a noob, which some of you might think that I still am, which is true, but back when I was a bigger noob, I thought that the best armor on the tank was on the side. True fact. So, my E50 stats have been permanently damaged pretty much. Recently bought it back to do some rehab, but yeah, that's a 39% win rate. It used to be below 30 when I started playing it with like 250 odd battles. So yeah, this is my worst tank in the game. E50. My E50 stats are the biggest meme for the Heater YouTube channel. So hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna attach a little bit of gameplay, and this will serve as my review of the E50, my worst tank in World of Tanks Blitz. Alrighty, we are going to get now into the stats of the E50. This is just going to be a quick-ish kind of review. Again, using blitzhanger.com. Really like this site. Built-in armor inspector. Check them out. I'm not getting paid for that endorsement or anything. Not that I'm getting paid to do YouTube, period. Alrighty, we are going to get into this. First off, DPM is 2800, which is fairly decent actually for a tier 9 tank. I do not use calibrated shells on this tank. Hit points 1700, which is very healthy for a tier 9 medium tank. View range 302 meters, again fairly good. Penetration is lackluster with 220 millimeters of base pen below the pen on the 105 L7 and derivant L7 and related guns, but above the base pen of the M46 and the T54, which I just did a review on Monday. Check that out. APCR, you get a healthy 270, which is more than enough to deal with most tier 10 tanks from the front if you can aim. Damage is 350, again, pretty good. Velocity is alright, not the best. Caliber, again, is a 105. Rate of fire, this tank doesn't have the best DPM, but it's not as terrible as you might think. Dispersion's not the best, although it does have pretty good dispersion while rotating turret and after a shooting. Gun depression has 8 degrees, which is pretty good, not as good as something like the M46 or Centurion 7-1. Turret traverse is not great either, 36 degrees, not nearly anything like the T54, but the T54 is Russian, so Russian bias. It does have actually pretty good mobility. This is a heavy, heavy, heavy medium tank. This tank is awesome for ramming. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos of me ramming stuff, but I do have some stuff of me ramming things in this tank's upgrade, the E50M, which is pretty awesome. Has a pretty good power to weight ratio on hard terrain, decent on medium terrain, and decent on soft terrain. This tank can go 60 kilometers per hour forward and 20 backwards, so it is, again, pretty mobile, and it can hit pretty hard. Its traverse is 54 degrees, which, again, is not the best out of all the tanks. In fact, it is the worst on all terrains, but it's a big, heavy chunk of German steel with some pretty decent armor, actually, which we will take a look at now. Its primary armor is in a couple different spots. Take a look at it here. Upper plate is 156 millimeters, but that is extremely well angled. Its lower plate is absolutely tragic, 104, but you can get some weird bounce angles on it, and it is one of the biggest weak points on this tank. The cheeks here are only 84 millimeters, so if you turn your turret slightly, this becomes a huge weak spot. The face of the turret is 194, and it's pretty flat, so you're only talking about 200-ish. Also has a cupola, which smart players can and will shoot. It has 83 millimeters of side armor all over, so this tank can side scrape fairly effectively, actually. Overall, this tank has a fairly robust armor profile for a tier 9 medium tank. I think the E50M has a better armor profile simply because the front of its turret is not nearly as weak. But again, this tank can pull off some nice bounces, not nearly as robust as something like the T54, but compared to something like the Sent 7 and 1, the Type 61, the Leo PTA, etc., etc. This tank does have quite a lot of armor, especially in raw thickness. And again, the thick upper plate really helps this tank when you ram stuff. That's one of the most valid tactics in this tank is to ram a enemy medium or light tank before you get into a dogfight. You can do upwards of 200 to 300 to 400, even 500 plus damage with a ram, if depending on what tank you hit. So again, definitely one of the valid um, strategies in this tank. It doesn't have the full gun depression all around. You only get 5 over the front, but over the side you get even more. You get the full gun depression over the side. Doesn't quite show this on this armor inspector, but again, it is fairly strong. Yeah, guys, hope you enjoy this gameplay. So let's get on to it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting into the first bit of gameplay here. Nothing too exciting for tonight. Just trying to show you that I have, in fact, improved my playing of the E50 because reasons. Calling kill here up on Middleburg because you shouldn't go city, especially when they only have you only have a couple heavies. I mean, there's really no circumstance where we should be going city. Unless it's a tournament battle, but then that's a completely different situation. I'm going to angle to the side. You can see the bad gun depression here. I end up cresting the hill, want to get a shot into this T-54. I can see there that he doesn't quite have one of the top guns, which means that his penetration isn't going to be great, and if I over-angle my upper plate, it might be worth it. Missed the shot there on the Type 59, bounce off his strong Russian armor copy. Enemy team is just kind of pulling out of the hill, giving us a little bit of room and time to work, so I'm going to decide to push. I am a very, very heavy tank. Hit the shot on the move there, go for the ram, and track reverse lets me up. Don't quite have the gun depression over the front to put one into that T-49, so I just chase him like a blind idiot. He does have the 90mm, so he's going to have 190 or less pen. That's a shot off the back of my tank from the enemy RU-251. Nobody. We've won the hill. We've lost 2 tanks. They've lost 2 tanks. We have a Tiger 2 who's coming here in front of me. Spots up a enemy T-34. I miss his track. Put one into him. Do get spotted there. Spot up 2 enemy tanks over there. Take 1. I should have pulled back sooner. That's a mistake on my part. But yeah, we do have the high ground, and as everyone knows who's watched Star Wars, give up Anakin, it's over, I have the high ground. He who holds the high ground usually wins if you have a semi-competent team. Yeah, I'm just going to poke around here, looking to try to get some shots into a T-34 stuff over there. My team has started to push down near the red spawn, spot up the enemy RU-251, get the kill on him. Enemy Lurve is pushing through the town to go after our medium tanks who are trying to tangle with a tortoise there over by the enemy spawn. Cap zone goes off, so I know where all 3 enemy tanks are now, so I'm going to push in, get the flank, using the pretty decent mobility on this tank to vomit through here. Decide I want to take out the T-34 first. He has a pretty nasty gun. He spots me at this moment. I hit the fountain, but doesn't quite take enough of my speed off, so I'm able to ram the T-34 for a fairly decent chunk of his health. Puts him down to a definite one-shot for me. Take 1 from the tortoise here. He is using the 20-pounder gun, so he has about 226mm of pen. Put 1 into his cupola, eat 1 from him. Just trying to side scrape. Angle up my upper armor. He goes down. Other enemy tank goes down. Get the win. And pick up 2 kills myself. So fairly decent match. Almost 2.9 thousand, 57,000 credits. Most of that was from a mission. Gonna move now into the second match. Was recording this slightly late. Enemy team has a 1390 here on mines. I don't like mines, so I'm gonna stop here. Punch him as he goes up on the hill. Pull back. Enemy Sent 7-1 is deciding to go up into the hill as well. I'm going to wait for his track to move into my gun, get the tracking shot on him, and I'm just going to chill behind this rock. Don't want that defender or T-34 to get shots on me. Bounce one from the 1390. He decides to almost come out. I bounce one off his lower plate. He misses me again, hits the rock that I'm using for cover. I have enough gun depression over this part of my tank to load a premium round, go through the side of the IS-3 Defender turret there. 270mm of pen with APCR is working fairly well for me. Load regular AP, his turrets turn just enough for me to be able to start putting shots in. He's trying to crest too much. Taking a lot of damage from that. Spot up the T-34. He's easier to get shots into reliably. IS-3 Defender is now a one-shot. I notice a lot of their team has shifted over to the cap zone area, so I'm going to decide to push. Fairly certain the Defender is going to go down now. There he goes. Going to push up on this T-34. I'm willing to take a shot from him in exchange to put another one into him. Our M103 decides to bugger off. Our T-32 bounces a shot. I put one through his upper plate. 1390 is spotted. JP2 is in danger of getting COD'd, so I do put one into the 1390, pick up a kill there. I'm going to go back over this way. I don't want our tanks over here to get pushed. Fairly certain we have the game in the bag at this point, but doesn't hurt to be too sure. Enemy Tiger 2 pushes up. I get the track on him, so he isn't able to get his gun down. Get the kill on him. Gun depression over the front of my tank here is going to start screwing me. But I'm able to put one into the side of the turret. I'm going to angle up way too much here so I can get the gun depression. Put one into the SE-122-54. Only going to be the last shot I get. End up winning that game by only losing one tank. Tell the enemy team GG. Pretty decent matches here. Really hope you guys enjoyed this content. The channel has absolutely exploded lately, so thank you very, very, very much. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you for the Friday video.